You know, I put out this call. I said, look, make me a video to help me. I didn't know that anyone would send one in, but Ray Rowan did, and this is it, and I thank Ray for what he did. I hope you enjoy hearing Ray's story about Ray and about how he feels about my channel.
This video is for the filmmaker David Hoffman, who put out a request on his YouTube channel for his subscribers to talk a little bit about what inspires them as a filmmaker or even entertains them as a viewer. So before I talk a little bit about you, I wanted to give a brief introduction about myself as a filmmaker. I began filmmaking back in the year 2000. This was a couple years after the movie Scream came out, so me and my friends were creating short horror films, and at the time I was also a fan of Mad TV, Tom Green, and Jackass, so we were also doing these street gags and street stunts, and one time I ended up splitting my hand open jumping off this balcony. It's on YouTube to watch. But I grew out of that phase, began taking classes in high school, and went on to college and got a certificate in digital video, and ever since have been creating since the year 2000. I first heard of David Hoffman when I saw his documentary in 2011 on YouTube. It was about a house fire that occurred at his house, and he had lost tons of his films and belongings. He was a collector of things, and in watching his documentary, I was inspired in many different ways. He kept saying this statement, you got to make something good out of something bad, and as a creator, I think that's inspiring because when you're going through a tough time or there's a bad situation going on, that quote always kind of has stuck with me since watching his documentary. You got to make something good out of something bad. So if it's a bad situation, you got to make the best of it. Another quote from his documentary, he said, somebody has to tell the story and it's in my brain. If I don't say it, it doesn't get recorded. And I think that rings true for many filmmakers. There's a lot of creative things that filmmakers or YouTubers want to say. You always got these creative thoughts in your head, and if you don't get them out, nobody will know that story that you want to tell or what's going on in your mind. So I connected with that. I connected with the documentary in many ways. It was very interesting seeing somebody go through that struggle of their house burning down, losing many of the things they created. You know, he collected these records, and he said he would play music throughout the process of creating his films, and I connected with that because music is a big part of creating for me. I'm always listening to music, and they're not records, but they are maybe a Spotify playlist or music on YouTube or something, but it definitely helps and the creative aspect of filmmaking. So what keeps me coming back to David Hoffman's channel is catching up on all of his old work. Since I've just discovered him back in 2011, he has such a library or catalog of work, and it's interesting to look back at what he's created, and even motivates me as a creator to constantly keep creating, and maybe one day I can look back at what I've created and inspire others as well.
So, you know, I'm not really comfortable talking about myself. That's not because I don't have an ego. I do. But it's because mostly I don't find myself all that interesting. I'm glad if you do, but for me, I find you more interesting than me. I love the comments. I love what Ray did. I love videos where people say what they think, how they feel, what they experience. If this little clip from Ray gives you any desire to do either a video about David Hoffman, how you feel, or a video about you, or something you've done, or something you'd like to do, or something you didn't do, please give it a try. And thank you, Ray, and thank you, subscribers, and thank you, YouTube. And thank you mostly for this beautiful day, for the fact that I feel good inside, for the fact that I am honored to talk with you all and to hear from you. Really appreciate it. Have a good day.